our distinction of sounds, the first important thing that we know about the sounds that humans can produce is that they produce two types of sounds. One is voiceless sounds, and the other are voiced sounds. And voiceless sounds, that's just when the vocal folds are open. They're not close together, and that's what they are. Also, that's the position for normal breathing. Okay, they are not excited. The air just moves out. What happens as a part of this is you get so-called voiceless sounds. S, sh, t, p. Okay, these contrast with the voiced sounds v, d, z, j, because the vocal folds are vibrating, especially with sounds like z, j. You can even feel the vibration. If you put your hand, for example, to where the Adam's apple is for man, or where the vocal folds are, and you say something like zzz, you will feel the vibration. Or if you close one of your ears, then the resonance can also be observed better. Zzz, and yes, it's slightly silly doing that, so you should probably do it when you're at home on your own and not out on the street. But it's important for English, as we will see. The final state of the glottis, i.e. what the vocal folds do to the right here, that's going to be important for something that we'll look at later, whispering. If you whisper very, very softly, what happens is that your vocal folds are close together and they are tense. They are so tense that they can't vibrate, like strings of a guitar that are tightened. So then you can't get vibration. There is no voicing going on there. And that's important to understand. If you whisper, vocal folds very tight, very close together, no voicing. Okay, so the first distinction with respect to sounds that humans can produce is a sound voiced or not? And it all depends on what you do with your vocal folds. If they vibrate, it's a voiced sound. If they don't, it's a voiceless sound. If you think back to the anatomy, then the next choice that you have is whether you let the air out through your mouth. Those are oral sounds. And you get those when the soft bit dangling at the end, the velum, when you move it up and block the passage to the nose. Those are oral sounds. With nasals, unsurprisingly, you need to open the passage so that the air can go out through the nose, so the velum is lowered. Once you get to this stage, then you've got the next major choice. The choice is, do I produce a vowel or do I produce a consonant? And there are distinct differences in how you produce them. With consonants, something like p, t, k, sh, and so on, it's pretty easy to detect where in the mouth the action is going on. Okay? There is contact because there is some kind of obstruction. You know where the tongue is or whatever is doing the articulation. With vowels, the difference between something like is very subtle. Okay? It's very difficult to say where in the mouth something is going on. We need a reference system for that and a different set of feature descriptions. We will see how that works out. But the important thing is there are vowels, there are consonants, and the difference lies in their production. This is just a matrix of things which, because classically vowels and consonants are distinguished, that some sounds are in between. That's not so important. The important thing here is that with respect to the manner of articulation, as I said, e, a, o, the vowels, there is no real major obstruction in the mouth. You do something with your tongue, but you don't completely block or make obstruct the airflow. So that's a classical feature of a vowel. So if you ever wonder what the hell is a vowel, well, something that doesn't really impede the air coming out of your mouth. Okay, minus obstruction. Vowels are always voiced. That's another criterion. The vocal folds always vibrate. You've got no choice. And because the vocal folds vibrate and because there is no major obstruction, what you get is these nice waves. And these nice waves are perceived as harmonic sounds. That's why you can sing to vowels. And that kind of thing, okay? They're harmonic sounds, they're nice. Consonants, on the other hand, can be voiced or voiceless. So there you've got to decide what you do with the vocal folds. And there's always obstruction in the mouth, major obstruction, which impedes the airflow. In b, I stop it completely. In s, I put my tongue to the alveolar ridge, and the air can only pass through that obstruction, causing friction, and that ends up disturbing the sound flow. So you don't get nice waves, and it's perceived as noise. Okay. Nasals are sort of in the middle. If you think about and there's obstruction going on. Okay, so that makes them look like consonants. At the same time, the air can move out through the nose, and you still get the perception of them as harmonic. So they're sort of in between. They've got features of vowels. They're also always voiced. That's why I put it in yellow. They are harmonics. But there is obstruction, just like consonants. So they're sort of in between the classic distinction between what's a vowel and what's a consonant. And approximants we'll see in a second. But it's just important that there are endpoints, vowels, and consonants, and nasals are somewhere in the middle.